What's happening, guys? Rogue Invitational, day one, done and dusted. We're going to have some competition footage in here as well, but here's a recap of the day. Got to the venue about 10 a.m. I felt incredible today. I felt really positive, really strong, really excited and happy to be back competing, which is something I've been missing for longer than I'd like to admit. So that's a massive victory for today. Warm-ups for deadlift felt amazing. Max 18-inch deadlift. I thought, I'm probably capable of 1,050 maximum, and I thought that would get pretty good points. I decided to open on 1,000, and that had me out after every other competitor, and my first lift got me, I believe, in the top two. It was just me and Lucas Hatton. Top three. Me, Lucas Hatton, and Austin Andrade were left. Austin pulled 1025, which was awesome, and then I went up and pulled 1050 on my second attempt. And to be honest, that was pretty easy. That's the strongest my 18-inch axle has ever been. And massive victory for me, personal victory, in terms of coming back really strong and getting off to a hot start. So 2 thumbs up to myself for that. And I think getting off to that good start was really good mentally for me. And I can't say enough. I'm just happy to be back and competing and feeling good. So that was event number 1. That put me in the lead. Event win, which was fantastic. Austin was in second and Lucas was in third. Event number 2 was the Viking Press. My overhead pressing for reps had been awesome this whole prep. My best was 167 for 12. My goal was 160 for 10 by the end of prep. So this is way ahead of what I thought I would be able to do. And I managed to, I went out last. There was a couple of guys on 16 reps and Trey on 22. So my number in my head was really 17. I thought that was pretty good. Challenging Trey on an overhead for reps is a big ask. And I went up. I did 12 or 13 reps, and that was enough to slow me down a little bit. But before any lactic acid built up, took a bit of a rest and pushed through. I hit 17, took another rest, double checked 17, hit an 18th just in case one of the reps was maybe disallowed in the future, or miscounted or something. So one just for buffer. Hindsight's 2020. I didn't want to expend the energy to keep pushing, but even at 18, I really didn't have to press it out. It felt pretty good. So I probably had the ability to go up and push Trey, maybe get to 22. But there's every chance I could have got to 21 and burnt out and costed myself a bunch of energy for no reason. At the time, it seemed like the right idea. And why I say at the time is I'm getting to it. Event number 3. It was a long day of competing. We were out there for about 8 hours total. And event number 3 was Yoke into power stairs. I thought this is my event. This is really good for me. Of course, my pedigree on Yoke is very strong, and I knew that I'd be in the lead after that. And last year, I absolutely smoked the power stairs. It was no problem. Now, this year, they added 150 pounds to the yoke. So it was 20 meters, 1,050-pound yoke into a duck walk into power stairs. The duck walk and power stairs being 500, 550, 600. The first guys went, and they were absolutely destroyed. And that was surprising because, yes, the yoke was heavier, but otherwise, it was the same event as last year, bar 10-foot duck walk. On paper, it didn't seem like much. But even a fit guy like Patty Haynes was smashed after. So, maybe I should have been a little bit more tactical, took a bit more time on the duck walk and power stairs, but I took off fast as expected. With the yoke, the less time you have it on your back, the better off you are. There's no advantage to going slow. There's no burnout to going fast. So got through the yoke, absolutely smoked it. Went on to the 500-pound duck walk into power stair. It felt like nothing. My strength today was very, very high. Then I went to the 550. Again, it felt pretty good. Really no real concerns. And running back to the 600-pound duck walk power stair, I didn't have any real concerns. I figured, okay, this is just sealing up an event win. I went to duck walk the 600 pounds, and it threw me off balance a bit because my posterior chain started giving out. So I swung it a couple of times, got it nice and close to the stair, got it up the first step, but it was hard and it was close. At this stage, I still felt like, okay, well, first step, get into a bit of a rhythm and it should be fine. And I was well ahead of any other time at this point. Then I managed to get up the second step, but it was a big effort. And at this stage, my legs were just gone. I went back and got more chalk just because the lower you're able to pull the implements, the more reliance there is in your grip. You know, if it's deep in your hand, you don't have to lift it as high as if it goes into your finger slightly. I was having no grip issues. My grip feels great, no problem at all there. But my legs totally gave out, and my conditioning is something I've prided myself on for a long time. I generally win these type of events, but I haven't been able to squat for 5 months. I didn't anticipate this being an issue. But with my knee being the way it was, and with the events, it just wasn't worth the risk to push squats for really no reason. But it definitely cost me. My legs were not conditioned enough to do that much volume. And it's really as simple as that. My legs just gave out, and I didn't have anything left to give. So I finished that one just shy. And on an event that I think I should have won, I ended up in 5th place. Unfortunately, this means that my lead went to 0 points. In fact, negative points. So Trey Mitchell right now is 1.5 points ahead of me. I am in second, and I am 5.5 points ahead of Lucas Hatton. That's day one. I am personally really happy with how I performed. I didn't execute, or I executed everything as I wanted. I didn't get the points I wanted on the event that I couldn't train as hard as I wanted to, but my strength is really high. And it feels like my absolute strength is better than it was before. Got some work to do on the leg conditioning, definitely in the future. But at the moment, I'm sat, ready to go to bed. My legs feel fine now. My back feels fine. Everything feels healthy. I don't feel really that zapped, to be honest. My lungs feel open because of so much breathing from that last event, but otherwise, I feel really prepared for tomorrow. And the events tomorrow line up really well. So I got to make a 1.5 points up on Trey across the overhead medley, which is kettlebell into dumbbell into axle for reps. And that training's been going really well. Then it's the wheel hay bale push into an arm over arm. My arm over arm grip has been awesome in training, so I imagine that's going to result in a positive result. Also, I have the experience of knowing this sled and knowing how this is going to differ from last year's sled, so I have that expectation going in. And then finishing with stones. Stones without tacky, I'm much better than stones with tacky historically, but Trey's phenomenal at stones. So, look, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be exciting, and that's what I think is good for the sport. That's what's good for everyone. Trey is on an absolute blinder. You know, there's reasons that I feel that I lost a few points, but the overarching reason is that today Trey performed better. And in an event like a Yoke power stairs, you wouldn't pick Trey to do well, and he's absolutely crushed it. So hats off to him. Lucas Hatton in third, tied with Thomas Evans. Those guys putting in consistent performances, and both of them have really solid events tomorrow. So I imagine a push is coming from behind as well. But it's time to get some rest. I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be out there. Happy to be in with a shot to win. And I believe I can. I believe if I go do what I can do, I can win. But regardless, I think already I've proved enough that not only can I get back to where I was before, but I can get further than that. That was the best 18-inch axle deadlift I've ever done, and the best Viking press I've ever done. So that bit's taken care of. Now there's tomorrow to take care of. Wish me luck. Thank you guys very much for your support and for watching. And we're well in the back end. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, 2026 is going to be pretty special. We'll cross all the I's. No, we'll cross all the T's. Dot all the I's, and hopefully get a whole bunch more competition victories. And I imagine that will be the case. But first, tomorrow. Thanks, guys. As per always, lift heavy, be kind, and stay tuned for the recap tomorrow, hopefully titled, I Won the Rogue Invitational for the 3rd time in a row. But regardless, support is appreciated. I'm happy. I think I've already proved to myself that I can do great things in strength sports for a long time to come. So thanks, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.